back, this is to show you how to do buttonholes. Now, like on the Brother Ellis 14, it has several stitches here for you to use for your brother, for your buttonholes basically. And it's got this little section here which sorts out how close your zigzag is together. Now, I can't get away with that, so I tend to just, when it goes on the right hand side of doing your buttonhole, I tend to just avoid, well, try to stop the machine from pushing as much of the fabric through as quickly as possible. Now if you look here, it's thingied A, B, C and D. If you just follow them to start with, and this is your buttonhole foot. Right, so place your buttonhole foot on your machine. Always I suggest you're attaching a button. I'll just grab one here. This might be too big. If you make sure and you mark it on your fabric first, say either end of the button, like so, like that, then as a rule, if your button's in between that gap, your buttonhole should turn out perfect. Alright, and then put it on to A and stitch, when I get the camera sorted, stitch a couple of stitches to lock it in place. There we go, lift your stitch up and then put it on to B, which is going in reverse, which will be on the left hand side. And let it go slowly. Stop, put it back to the centre, which was A again, which is also C. And then put it on D. Now this is where I tend to stop the machine from pulling it through quickly and let me do the work for it, because I can't figure out, let alone get away with sorting it out so it's even both sides. There we go, and then back to A again. Right. And pull that out. There we go. Right, we'll cut off the loose threads. Like so. Now, when you're cutting, when you're cutting the inside of it out, if you put a pin through the top like that, I always like to have the metal coming over it, then I can see better. And then you do the same with the bottom. Like so. Then that way, when you take your unpicker and you place it in to rip it open, do this slowly. You'll find if you use your pins, it stops you from going too far up and unpicking your stitches. And then pull it again up to your next row of stitches. You've got your pins to stop you from actually damaging any of your stitches. If them pins weren't there, there's a chance you could go over into your stitches and then you'll have done that buttonhole for nothing. There we go, there's your buttonhole. Now, like I said, you have got this setting here on your Brother Ellis 14, which, depending on which size you're doing, depends on how close your zigzag is. Now, I spent an hour messing about, and it's never the same both sides. So I found out when I'm going towards me on the buttonhole, if I just stop the machine from pulling it through as quick, then I can do a pretty neat buttonhole, and that just works best for me. If you can get away with doing your buttonhole by doing the settings, then that's brilliant. But like I said, for me, I can't. It's just, I just can't get away with it. And after about an hour of trying, I just give up. Right, I've still got some loose threads, but that'll do. Oops, knocked it again. I've still got some loose threads, but there you go, there's the back of the buttonhole. And depending on what size button you want, depends on how big you make your gap. Right, I hope this was useful, and thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. Or even if you could help me out regarding figuring out this setting so I don't have to stop the machine from forcing it through, please let me know in the comments below, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe.